Hey everyone, it's Byron again. I'm here to testify for Jesus Christ. I'm going to cover a Bible story, but in doing so, I'm going to apply it to modern day Decatur, Alabama for sure, and it's probably happening in other places. I think Huntsville, Alabama is cranking up right now to probably do the same story. As I'm covering this story, I'm going to have four different sets of characters within the story, but I want you to keep in mind, even though I'm acting like there's four different sets or the story has four different players, I want you to imagine in your mind, what if all those players were on the same team? So that if there was conflict within between the players, imagine if the conflict was purposeful, to guide or mislead you, to herd you. Here's the story. There was a man named Naboth in Israel at one time, and he had a vineyard. The king of Israel, his name was Ahab, he wanted the vineyard. But because of Jewish law, Naboth couldn't give up his inheritance, nor could the king take it. And the king got very upset. Anyway, he laid down in his bed and sulked. His wife Jezebel entered the scene. She entered the scene and basically devised a quick plan. She sent out a letter as if she were the king. Not, she wasn't the king, but she sent it out if she were the king. Stamped it with the king's seal, and the letter basically called a city council meeting. And Jezebel had some people come in and give false testimony at this city council meeting. And they gave false testimony about Naboth. So that the city people, or we'll call them sympathizers, let's call the false testimony people orators who can speak well, but they don't necessarily care what they say. They're doing this to please Jezebel or to get money from Jezebel. And then you have the city people, sympathizers. They listen to the orators, give the false testimony. And the city people are kind of like people that don't think for themselves. They think what they're told. Although they will give you their opinion, even though they don't have their own opinion, they have the opinion of someone else that told them that. So eventually in this story, Jezebel, she accomplished her goal. But the city people believed the false testimony against Naboth, took Naboth out and stoned him. Now, figuratively, you could have a situation going on in your town where someone wasn't necessarily killed, but their character was assassinated. Their proficiency in a job was assassinated. Now keep in mind, and then at the beginning of this, I stated, now what if they all were on the same team? What if they were merely playing the role? But outwardly, in the meetings that they had, they wanted you to think they were opposing each other. So what if Naboth, who had the vineyard, was on King Ahab's team, but he had to say no to King Ahab? I can't give you the vineyard. Then King Ahab acted weak and didn't take the vineyard, but he had his wife enter in and produce a false authority over the city, and then state, well, I guess we'll just have some false testimony people come in, and they'll character assassinate Naboth, and then the townspeople will sympathize with the character assassination and will get Naboth out of the vineyard. In the story.